Home ownership is something most people dream about. They have thoughts and fantasies of the biggest and best house they can find on the market. Sometimes the reality of what they can afford and what they desire is not the same. In 2004, there were many people that took advantage of the laws that allowed them to buy a house with extremely low interest variable rate mortgages. This offered a solution so people bought homes they really could not afford. In a financial world, a few people took note of the growing issue stemming from these transactions. One of them was Steve Eisman. He was an exponentially bright student that questioned many things, always wanting to know the reason and truth behind things. He graduated with honors from both University of Pennsylvania and Harvard Law School. He noticed the increasing number of risky loans, coupled by mortgage brokers repackaging loans in an unprecedented way. Eisman wanted the world to be a place of integrity. He wanted to right the many wrongs of the mortgage industry. He was an upstander in the 2000 housing market crisis. His example was taken notice, resulting in a film on the housing market crisis. The housing market crash in the mid to late 2000s led to many families losing their homes and jobs during this financial crisis. It's likely that the full impact of the 8.4 million jobs lost and nearly 3 million homes foreclosed on since the recession began has taken an even bigger toll on the number of American households. This was a serious issue that happened to many Americans. Increasing foreclosure rates in 2006 to 2007 among U.S. homeowners led to the crisis in August 2008 for a subprime Alt-A collateralized debt obligation, or CDO, mortgage, credit, hedge fund, and foreign bank markets. The reason for this problem was the number of subprime loans from 2003 to 2007. The number of loans given out like this increased by 292%. A subprime loan is a loan to people that may have a financially difficult time repaying the loan. This led to the bursting housing bubble. The U.S. Secretary of Treasury called the bursting housing bubble the most significant risk to our economy. This is where Steve Eisman comes into play. The upstander I'm writing on is Steve Eisman. Steve Eisman, born July 8, 1962, is an American money manager known for shorting securitized subprime home mortgages. Steve Eisman is one of the few money managers who predicted the U.S. subprime blowup and had the nerve to make a gargantuan bet against it. His hedge fund was up more than 70% in 2008. Steve Eisman successfully bet against the banks and their unregulated derivatives products during the financial crisis. He issued warnings to rating agencies and regulators, but when he looks back on the situation, he makes a biblical reference to global floods. When thinking about his lonely market call, even with these efforts, people still didn't listen to him. People often thought he was crazy because of his bold claim to bet against the banks and housing market. This led him to be a very successful businessman. By 2010, he managed more than $1 billion for Front Point and gained prominence after being profiled by Michael Lewis in his book, The Big Short: Inside the Doomsday Machine.